So, as people, we are very different. There are those people who like to plan out their life, make budgets, and stick to the budgets while doing their things. And there are also other people who just jump in with both feet, blindfolded in a way, and just do things as they come without considering anything. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Those of you who have been here before, those who have liked and subscribed, thank you very much. Those who are new, welcome guys. So today I would like to talk about money. So I've been asked this question a lot. People want to know how much they might expect to pay to prepare to come to UK from Lesotho or South Africa. So today I made up a video to answer that question. In all honesty, while going through the process from the beginning to the end, I did not calculate. I did not want to calculate. All I wanted was the end. I just wanted to come to the UK, wanted to come and get my salary in pounds. So I did not calculate at all. What I did now is just approximations, approximately how much I spend, so that you guys have an idea of approximately how much you might spend to come to the UK. So some of you already know I took the IELTS exam to come here. The English test that I took is IELTS. So in August of 2019, when I took the IELTS, I paid 4,700 for that exam itself. For the preparation material, I paid 500 rands. That one is the exact figure that I paid. And because we do not have a test center in Lesotho, I had to travel from Lesotho to Johannesburg. I slept over in a B&B. So I paid for transport, food and accommodation, roughly 2,500. So for the very first step, which is the English test, I paid roughly 7,700 rands. And then for the next step, which is the CBT exam, still we do not have a center which offers this test in our country. I still had to travel from Lesotho to Johannesburg. So for transport and food, roughly this time I spent 1,500. I did not sleep over this time. We went in the morning and came back right after the exam. So we spent only on food and transport, not accommodation. For the test itself, it was 90 pounds, and because the rand at that time against the dollar was around 21 rands, so the amount was 1,890. So the total amount we paid for CBT was 3,390 rands. Then after that, I had to do NMC registration. NMC registration, I paid roughly 3,000 rand. I can't remember the exact amount, but it was around 3,000 rand that I paid for the NMC registration at that time. And then I also had to do LNC verification. I paid 350 rands for Lesotho Nursing Council to verify me to the NMC. So for that stage, I paid, the total amount I paid was roughly 3,350. And then after that, I had to do a TB test in Pretoria. Still, we had to go to Pretoria because we do not have a TB test center. It is done at a TB test center in Pretoria. It is IOM, International Organization for Migration. I understand we have offices in Maseru, but unfortunately they do not offer the test. The test itself is done in Pretoria, so I had to travel from Lesotho to Pretoria. Food and transport, roughly 1,500 rand. The test itself, that was in January of 2020, I paid 1,800. So at this stage, I paid, the total amount I paid was 3,300 rand. The TB certificate is necessary for when applying for a visa. So I was almost at the end of the process. And then COVID-19 happened, lockdown happened. So everything had to come to a standstill from January of 2020 until September of 2020 when I picked up from where I had stopped. unfortunately at that time I had to do the TB test one more time since the certificate I had done in January had expired already. So this time around when I did the TB test, it was 2,500 rand. January it was 1,800. In September when I did it once again, it was now 2,500. Yeah, crazy, I know. So I paid 2,500 rand for the TB certificate in September. Once again, it was in Pretoria, like I said. Transport and food, roughly 1,500 because we did not sleep over. So there was no accommodation. Oh, excuse me, pardon me for that. We actually slept over this time. We slept over because we wanted to do our visa appointment, biometrics appointment. We planned this. We went to Pretoria on day 1. We did our TB tests and we obtained our certificates. The following day, we had our visa biometrics appointment in Johannesburg. So we slept over in Johannesburg. So our accommodation was roughly 1,000 rand. At the visa appointment, the biometrics appointment, my visa was paid for by my employer. But there are some small things that I had to pay, like the scanning of my documents, the uploading of my documents. I paid around 700 rand. So the total amount I paid for the visa, transport, food and accommodation and visa appointment, I paid roughly 5,700 rand. So at the end, the total amount I paid, or including a plane ticket from Maseru to Johannesburg, which was around 1,400. If I was coming to the UK alone, I was going to pay roughly 24,840 from the beginning of the process to the end. That is the total amount I was going to pay if only I was coming to the UK alone. And this is like this because I had to do the TB certificate the second time. So for other people it might be different. You might find that you're paying less than that. You might find that you pay more than this. Also depending on the type of test that you're going to sit for. Like I said in my previous video, I mentioned that the prices are different of the English tests. So it all just depends on the amount, the test you're going to sit for, the amount you end up paying for the test. And also it depends on the amount that you pay for CBT, for NMC registration. These things are in pounds. So it mainly depends on how much the rent is against the pound. So the amount I paid in 2020 for the CBT exam might not be the same amount you pay in 2021 for the CBT exam. This is roughly an estimate of how much you might pay. So, because I was coming to the UK with my husband, and I'm the one who had the job as a nurse, he was coming as a dependent, and I was the main applicant. My visa was paid for by my employer. But because he was coming as my dependent, I had to pay for his visa, I had to pay for his plane ticket, I had to pay for his visa application fees, I had to pay everything for him. So his plane ticket from Maseru to Johannesburg was also 1,400. His plane ticket from Johannesburg to London Heathrow, it was 4,500. That was then. It might be different now. His visa application, for his visa, the tier 2 dependent visa, we paid 5,320 for his visa. And then the application fees, he also paid 700 rand for the scanning and the printing and everything. So at the end of the day, the total amount that we incurred to come from Lesotho to the UK, both of us, was 39,260. This is the rough estimate, roughly how much we spend to come from Lesotho to the UK. Your circumstance might be different from our circumstance. So roughly, to come to the UK, myself and my partner, we paid 39,260. Do not be discouraged by this amount. Like I said, Everybody's circumstance is different. You might find that you pay a little less than this, or even a little more, just depending on your circumstance. Just remember your dream. Remember what you are aiming for. If at the end of the day what you want is to come and work in the UK, just press on, close your eyes and just pay up whatever you have to pay.